Based on the article above, for the first fact of the Villa table, control the deep levels of deforestation and industrial activities in flood-prone areas, especially along rivers. So Anis, can you tell me what ideas that you can get from the first fact?
Okay, the need for environmental regulation is imperative to ensure that flood conditions do not worsen.
And Iwan, what are the learning issues that we can get from the first fact?
The learning issue we'll get is what are the costs of industrial activities.
Ivan, how do we encounter this problem on the first fact?
Action plan for the first fact is create stricter environmental policies and require environmental assessment before allowing any development related to flooding.
Now we have now completed the first fact of the Villa table. Moving on to the second fact, rampant overdevelopment and excessive deforestation as the causes of the recent Johor floods. Ryan, can you tell me the ideas for the second fact?
The ideas for the second fact is human activities are major contributors to natural disasters like floods.
We are going to the learning issue. Shaira, can you tell me about the learning issue that we can get from the second fact?
The learning issue we can get from the second fact is what are the environmental impacts of overdevelopment and deforestation.
And Anis, and how do we encounter this fact?
And to promote sustainable urban planning and protect forest reserve.
We have now completed the second fact. Moving on to the third fact. Government has conducted river cleanup program in Johor Bahru, but stress that similar initiative must be rolled out in the rural areas. Can you tell me the ideas for the third fact?
The idea is flood mitigation measure must be comprehensive and cover rural areas as well.
And Ivan, what are the learning issue that we can get from it?
Learning issue we can get from the third fact is why is rural neglect dangerous in solving environmental issues?
Ryan, how do we encounter this fact?
The action plan is organized clean-up campaigns in rural areas and plan budget resources accordingly.
We completed the third fact. Moving on to the fourth fact of the Villa table, Dr. Sio of St. GPS noted that some residents, especially in rural areas, tend to dispose of their trash via nearby rivers, and this could be detrimental for the drainage system. Shaira, can you tell me one of the ideas from this fact?
One of the ideas we can get is rural communities lack access to proper waste disposal systems such as garbage cans.
Anis, can you tell me the learning issues that we can get from this fact?
The learning issue that we can get from this fact is why do rural residents dispose trash in the rivers, and the second one is what happens when drains systems become clogged.
What should we do on this fact?
Can provide more garbage disposal facilities and conduct a proper waste disposal, and a proper drainage maintenance is a need to protect the environment.
Completed for the fourth fact of the Villa table. Moving on to the fifth fact. Due to poor drainage system and deforestation leading to lack of trees to absorb the water. What are the ideas?
Ideas are deforestation disrupts the water cycle by reducing transpiration, which decreases atmospheric moisture, cloud formation and rainfall, leading to drier conditions and potential drought.
How do we encounter what are the learning issue that we can get from this fact?
The learning issue that we can get from this fact is Why are trees important in managing excess water during heavy rainfall?
Moving on to the action plan. How do we solve this fact?
We can maintain urban trees canopies by protect and increase tree cover in urban areas to reduce runoff and peat islands, improving overall stormwater management.
Now we have completed the fifth fact. Moving on to the sixth fact of the Villa table. Flood mitigation measures along the rivers in Johor have to be improved. Anis, what are the ideas?
The ideas for this fact is maybe the current flood prevention system are not working well or not enough to handle heavy rain.
What are the problems that what are the problems on this fact?
Problem is, how do other countries improve their river system to avoid floods?
Then, how should we solve the flood mitigation?
The action plan is the government should upgrade the drainage and river barriers. NGOs and local authorities can work together to build better flood walls. Thus, they can do more research on flood-prone areas and come up with a long-term solution.
That's it for the sixth fact. Now moving on to the seventh fact. Johor authorities need to ensure that drainage system along the rivers are maintained and managed properly. Brian, what are the ideas that we can get from ensuring that drainage system along rivers are maintained and managed properly?
Sometimes floods happen because the drains and rivers are not cleaned or repaired on time.
What are the learning issues that we can get, Shaira?
The learning issue we can get is what are the effects of poor maintenance on flood control.
And Anis, how do we counter this problem?
To counter this problem by local council should make a fixed schedule to clean drains and rivers. Other than that, the awareness campaigns can teach people not to throw rubbish in drains. Lastly, they can use smart technology to monitor drainage flow.
We've now completed the seventh fact of the Villa table. Moving on to the eighth fact. Limiting massive construction, work and development in flood-prone areas, as this would only worsen the situation over time. Iwan, what are the ideas that we can get?
The idea is big construction project near river can block water flow and cause worse flooding.
What are the problems?
The problems are, what are the rules for construction in flood risk zone?
Brian, how do we solve limiting massive construction work and development in flood-prone areas?
The way to solve this is government must enforce laws to stop building in risky zone. Hence, construction companies should follow proper land use plans and more green areas should be kept to absorb rainwater.
We finished the seventh fact. Now moving on to the eighth fact. We look at the amount of rainfall in Johor and the amount of rainfall in Singapore. They are largely the same, but why is Singapore not flooded? This is from the interview in the article. Shaira, what are the ideas that we can get from this fact?
The ideas we can get on this fact is Singapore and Johor get almost the same rain, but Singapore handles it better, maybe because their system is more modern or strict.
Moving on to the learning issues. Anis,
The learning issue is what can we learn from Singapore's planning?
Iwan, how do we solve this problem?
The action plan is to study Singapore's drainage and river management as a model. Malaysia should invest in new technology and upgrade current system. Besides, the government can invite experts from Singapore to advise local planners.
Finish the eighth fact. Now this is the last fact of the Villa table. A key reason why many areas of Batu Pahat were flooded was because of the overflow from the Bikok River. Can you give me the ideas for this fact?
The ideas for the named fact is the Bikok River couldn't hold all the water, so it overflowed and caused floods.
Ian, can you give me the learning issues that we can encounter on this fact also?
The learning issue that we can encounter from these facts is how can we strengthen riverbanks or dams?
Can you give me another one?
And the other one is why did the Bangkok River overflow?
Era, what should we do for the overflow from the Bikok River?
For the action plan, we can improve the dam structure to hold more water, like build extra barriers along the river. This can control deforestation around the river to prevent soil erosion.
Now finish all of the fact from the filler table. Thank you very much.